Hi there friend, I'm sorry I'm standing in this really white boring part of my studio, but the sun just won't leave me alone today. Anyway, my name is Mando and last year I did this shieldmaiden Viking Warrior look. I do have better, more historically accurate Viking stuff now, but I thought it could be so much fun to just show you this cheap, quick Viking inspired look. I really think this style suits all genders, but I would do it a little bit differently if I was going for a more masculine look. Since many of my followers are male, I'm going to explain a little bit more in depth how I paint my partner Vind for music videos as well. If you don't have a lot of makeup or experience, don't worry. The only thing you really need to recreate this look is some black eyeshadow or body paint powder thingy, like the one I got from the craft store. I'm starting out with some red eyeshadow. It's totally optional, but I want some warmth in the eye in comparison to the rest of the war paint. I'm doing it under the eyes as well, and I'm dragging the red eyeshadow a little bit further than I want the black. Then I apply the dark shadow all over the eye, a little dragged out and upwards in the outer corners. But if I wanted a more masculine look, I would definitely stay right on top of the eye. The only tools that you really need for this look is your fingers and a toothbrush, but if you do have some brushes, it'll give you a little bit better control. Here I'm using a fluffy brush that's great for creating a smoky look. And since I am an angry, fearless warrior, I'm going to paint in my eyebrows a little bit too, but I would skip this if you're male. I'm also smudging a little bit of the powder all around the face to make it a little bit contoured and look a little dirty. Next up, war paint. The reason why I did the angles differently on each side is because I'm right-handed, so if I would paint my face with my fingers, I would go straight down on my left side and then dragged out on my right side. I'm going for 2 lines on my left and 4 on my right. I don't really know why. I guess I wanted something dynamic. You could absolutely do this with your fingers, but the reason why I do it with a brush is because I get a little more control. First, I am sketching out the lines where I want them, then I'm going to wet my body paint powder. I learned this trick when I was a young goth kid and wanted that extremely dark, crisp eyeshadow. By wetting it and packing it on the brush, you get this extremely pigmented result. Next up, I will use my trusty cheap toothbrush, and this is really what ties this look together. So I wet it and really get it into the paint. Then I use my thumb to splash little droplets of black paint all over my face, focusing mainly on the area with war paint. The more water you use, the larger the drops are going to be, but the shape of the actual brush part also matters, so don't stress if it doesn't work, it might just be your toothbrush. You get a lot of excess paint on your fingers doing this, so if you want you can smudge that around your face or fill in the war paint. Sometimes I've used this to darken my lips a little bit, but today I ended up using a grey lipstick that I had lying around. I also chose to put on some eyeliner. If you have super light lashes, you might want to darken them, but again that's optional and you might not even want to go there. However, especially if you're doing a look with a lot of darkness around the eyes, you really should invest in one of those eyeliner pencil that you can draw on your waterline on. Drawing on your waterline is really uncomfortable if you're not used to it, but it is so worth it. Here's an example where I painted my partner Vind for a music video, and before we painted his waterline, it really looked so much less professional. Next, I put a little bit of my hair in some sort of top knot bun thing and did a few braids. If you have long hair, I would absolutely do this regardless if you're going for a feminine or a masculine look. I put some Viking beads in mine. These you can get in loads of different places online and usually aren't that expensive. Search for Viking hair beads or beard beads. For the clothes, like I said, I do have a lot of items that I might have chosen instead, but I wanted to stay true to my original idea to make this a cheap and easy DIY, so I chose a neutral colored dress, tied a piece of old curtain around my waist, and put a tan belt over. I put this brown thin shawl around my shoulders that we have teared some holes in, and I tied it together with this piece I broke off an old thrifted belt that sort of reminded me of Viking brooches. I also put on some jewelry I found secondhand. For a masculine look, I think a neutral colored shirt with a belt over paired with dark pants would work just as well. It might not be historically accurate, but I'm pretty sure people would know what I'm aiming for, especially if you pair it with some accessories like an axe or a shield. And that's it for today, my friend. I want to say a special thank you to my newest patron, Kelly Ball, and thank you for watching. Skål!